Wells Fargo sets IQD above $3.30, RV breakthrough at 5 p.m. With your RV News Channel intro. Written fully in paragraph form, without headings. Welcome back to RV News, the channel where we cut through the noise and bring you the most critical updates on the Iraqi Dinar, the Vietnamese dong, and the global currency reset that's making headlines around the world. If you've been waiting for real, actionable intel about the RV, you've come to the right place. Today's report is breaking wide open with new confirmation from multiple trusted sources pointing to a major move by Wells Fargo that could change everything for currency holders. And the timing is absolutely explosive. We're talking about an official rate setting that has placed the Iraqi Dinar above $3.30. And the chatter from inside banking circles is that this could be the long-awaited RV breakthrough we've been anticipating. Even more jaw-dropping, the whispers say this new rate could go live for exchanges as early as 5 p.m. today. Yes, you heard that right, the kind of news that sends the RV community into overdrive. To understand the gravity of this development, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. For years, currency watchers, investors, and insiders have been tracking Iraq's financial reconstruction, its efforts to join the global financial system at a higher valuation, and the strategic moves of major U.S. banks. Wells Fargo, in particular, has always been on the radar because of its size, its direct ties to the U.S. Treasury's currency operations, and its role in historic foreign exchange transactions. The fact that Wells Fargo would set a live IQD rate above $3.30 is not just a banking decision, it's a geopolitical signal. Rates like these are rarely placed into internal bank systems without serious discussions at the highest levels. It suggests that not only are contracts in place, but liquidity is being positioned and operational systems are being readied for activation. This is the type of behind-the-scenes preparation that typically happens just before an RV is made public. Insider banking chatter has always been an important piece of the puzzle for those following this story. But what's coming out today feels different. Bank employees from multiple branches have confirmed that new foreign currency rate sheets are being updated in the system. These sheets are not the public forex rates you'd see online, they're internal front screen rates, used by tellers and exchange officers when processing transactions. According to a senior source familiar with Wells Fargo's foreign exchange desk, the IQD has been set internally above $3.30 for potential customer exchanges. This number is striking for a few reasons. First, it aligns closely with historical pre-war value, adjusted for inflation. Second, it fits within the range of rates that many global contracts and oil-backed agreements have been quietly pegged to. And third, it indicates that the RV may not roll out in a staggered, gradual increase, but rather in a bold, sudden adjustment to full value. So why now? What has shifted in the last 48 hours to make this possible? Several developments in Iraq have accelerated the timeline. Just yesterday, the Central Bank of Iraq confirmed that it had completed final settlements with multiple international lenders, clearing the last obstacles to full currency sovereignty. At the same time, high-level meetings between Iraqi officials and representatives from the U.S. Treasury reportedly concluded with a signed agreement on oil, revenue guarantees, and dollar supply stabilization. These agreements, combined with rising oil prices and Iraq's stable foreign reserve levels, have created the perfect storm for a revaluation. Wells Fargo's rate update appears to be the first visible sign that these agreements are being implemented in real time. Sources indicate that exchange procedures have also been refined over the last week, with specific instructions sent to bank managers about how to process high-volume foreign currency exchanges quickly and securely. This includes setting up private exchange rooms, bringing in additional compliance officers, and preparing tiered rate offerings for clients with large holdings. For IQD holders, this could mean contract rates well above the public international rate, especially if those exchanges are part of pre-arranged redemption agreements. The mention of a 3.30 live rate at Wells Fargo suggests that even the public street rate may be high enough to surprise most currency watchers. and private contract rates could go much higher. One of the most intriguing aspects of today's development is the rumored 5 p.m. activation window. Historically, large-scale financial events often go live in the late afternoon or early evening in U.S. banking time, allowing institutions to settle transactions after the close of the trading day, but before global markets reopen in the East. This reduces volatility and gives central banks time to monitor the rollout. The fact that multiple unrelated sources are pointing to this exact time frame adds credibility to the idea that this is more than just routine system testing. If true, we could see the first wave of live exchanges happening within hours, starting with select clients who have appointments or pre-arranged access codes. It's important to understand the magnitude of what a $3.30 IQD rate means for holders. At that rate, a single million Iraqi dinar, which many investors hold, would be worth over $3.3 million USD before taxes and fees. This is life-changing wealth, and for those who have been holding patiently for years, it would represent the culmination of a long, often frustrating wait. It also means that the overall financial implications for Iraq and the global economy are profound. Iraq's foreign reserves would see a massive increase in nominal value. Its citizens would experience a dramatic boost in purchasing power, and its status in the global markets would be instantly elevated. For the US, it would represent a stabilization win in the Middle East and a boost to dollar-backed trade agreements. Of course, with such a monumental shift, there are also risks and uncertainties. Some analysts are warning that the sudden release of wealth into the hands of private holders could trigger a short-term surge in luxury purchases, speculative investments, and even scams targeting the newly wealthy. That's why banking institutions are reportedly emphasizing the need for financial literacy and post-exchange advisory services. Wells Fargo and other major banks are rumored to have prepared special wealth management teams specifically for IQD and VND redeemers, offering immediate access to structured payout options, investment planning, and tax strategies. This is not just about cashing in currency, it's about managing the ripple effects responsibly. The political angle cannot be ignored either. The timing of this move in the middle of 2025, an election-sensitive year in the US, raises questions about whether the RV's public release is being coordinated to bolster economic sentiment or geopolitical positioning. In the past, similar large-scale financial events have been delayed or accelerated based on political needs, and it would not be surprising if part of the push to get Wells Fargo's rates live today comes from higher up in Washington. After all, a successful RV with a strong initial rate would not only be a headline grabber, but also a strategic talking point. In both domestic and international arenas, the response from the RV community has been electric. Social media channels dedicated to the IQD and VND are buzzing with screenshots, insider messages, and theories about how the next few hours will unfold. Some are making last-minute preparations to head to their banks, while others are cautiously waiting for official confirmation before making any moves. There's a palpable sense of excitement mixed with nervous energy, the kind that comes from knowing you might be on the edge of a major life change. It's also a reminder that, as always, timing is critical. If Wells Fargo's rate is indeed live at 3.30 and exchange appointments begin this evening, those who are ready and organized will be in the best position to benefit. For those preparing to exchange, the advice from experienced redeemers is consistent. Have all your currency authenticated, bring proper identification, and be clear on your goals before you walk in. If you're offered different rate tiers or structured payouts, ask questions and take your time to understand the terms. Remember that this is not a race, it's a wealth transition, and making wise decisions now will pay off far more than rushing for the first available appointment. Also, be aware of potential non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, that may be part of certain high-rate exchanges. If you sign one, you'll be legally bound to remain silent about your rate and terms, which could impact what you share with family or friends. Another element worth noting is how this development ties into the broader global currency realignment. Over the past few months, we've seen signs of coordinated action among countries holding significant reserves of undervalued currencies. Vietnam, Zimbabwe, and even smaller nations with resource-backed currencies have been making adjustments that align with a potential global reset scenario. Wells Fargo's move on the IQD rate could be one of the first dominoes to fall, signaling that we are entering the activation phase of a much larger financial transformation. If that's the case, we could see the VND follow suit quickly, along with other currencies that have been quietly prepared for a similar revaluation. Behind closed doors, the logistics of processing millions of currency exchanges are staggering. Bank branches have been outfitted with enhanced security measures, armored